These are the main data types in the Oracle. So to store any numbers, we will use the number data type like this. If we want to store any characters, we will use these character data types. Then if I want to store any big size of data like resume data and any big size of data, we will use this clog. If I want to store any images, then we will go with the blog. If we don't know, we are going to get decimals or we are going to get the any numbers, then we will use the float data type like 123 or 123.45. This kind of data. Number means 100, varchar means Shiva, char also Shiva, nchar also Shiva. This is also same. And CLab, any big size of data. BLab, any image or video like that. Float is 123. Decimal is always 123.45. Date is some date. Timestamp is date along with time. Long also some text like address kind of thing. Raw also some binary values. So we can store these kind of data using these data types. For example, I'm taking one table called employee. This is the employee table. So in this employee table, we have employee ID, employee name, email, salary, date of birth, gender, created date time, resume, employee photo. So these many different kind of data I'm having in the employee table. So employee ID, obviously I'm keeping 1 to 3. Employee name will be some characters, means it is name. So I'm giving as a varchar. So here, what I'm saying, we can use character or we can use var character. So there are two types of data, means two types of data types to use characters type of data. For example, what I'm saying, suppose char of 10 is there. To store Ramu, I can use char also. To store Ramu, I can use varchar also. So varchar, what varchar will do? I'm giving 10 length is 10, but I'm storing Ramu. Then what will we do? It will do like, it will occupy only 4 characters data and remaining space will be released to the next data. Means it won't occupy entire data, entire space. But character, if I give 10, but I'm storing only 4 characters, still 6 remaining characters space are there. So it will be hold the entire 10 digits data, 10 digits space. Suppose I'm giving 10, so it will holds 10 characters space memory. Okay, it won't release any space. Then which one is better? Always varchar 2 is better. There is varchar, there is also called varchar and varchar 2. There are some differences between these two also. Varchar is will support only 2000. Varchar 2 supports up to 4000. That is the difference. So always go with the varchar 2. It is failure data type. Nowadays we are not using this varchar. We are all using varchar 2 of this one size. Okay, next. Then Varchar 2 is releasing the remaining memory. If I store only Ramu, it will occupy only 4-digit space and it is releasing the remaining 6-digit space. Then why we have the character data type? Why we need? Because it is working absolutely fine when compared to char. Then why we need this? It means, suppose if I use this one, I given only 10, then it will occupy 20 virtual memory. It is not holding the space, but before the entering data. Understand here, virtual memory and main memory. Main memory is 4 plus 6. Virtual memory is 10 into 2. If I give 10, it will occupy 20 memory. Means virtually it is expecting some space, some values. So if I give 10, it will occupy 20 virtual memory, 20 digits virtual memory. But here, if I give 1, it will occupy only 1. If I give 2000, it will occupy up to 2000 only. Here, if I give maximum 4000, it will occupy 8000 virtual memory. So that is the main difference. So when we need to, how to decide I need to use char or varchar? Means already you know, gender is male, female. Gender is always male, female, or a noun. So you know already you are going to get only this data. Then you need to use char data type. You don't know how much data is going to get, like names, emails. You don't know one name is big, one name is small, like that. But here it will be always same. So in this case, use the char data type. Fixed length means length, there is no length changes in the data. Length will be always same. Suppose country code or this one, USD, INR, some Australian dollar, like this. You know, this always same. US dollar, Indian rupees, Sri Lanka rupees, all these are fixed length. Always 3 digits data or 2 digits or maximum 3 digits data. So in this case, use character data type. Here you don't know. See, here it is Shiva, it is Shiva Naidu, and here it is some Ravi Shankar. So every time some changes will be there in the names or in the emails. So in this case, you need to use varchar data type. I think you understand. So I explained more than enough, but you need to understand the differences between these two, because so many people in the interviews, they will expect differences between char and varchar. Differences between char and varchar. So how many differences? Memory wise difference and virtual memory wise different. These are the main two. Next, so how to utilize fixed length, same type of data, same length data I am getting, then I will use char. Different types of data I am getting, then I will go with the varchar. So this is the main difference. One more thing is there, that is called, if I have char, then I will definitely have the n char. At the first it is n. If I have varchar, then I have one more data type called n varchar. N means Unicode. Means suppose if I want to store any, if I want to store English, then I will go with the varchar type. If I want to store Chinese, Japan, any Portuguese, any kind of these things, then we need to go with the n varchar data type. Unicode related data types we need to choose. But basically in we are mostly going to work on UK and US projects and Australia projects. These three countries is giving main business to India. So we will always go with the varchar to data type. So this is the difference. Number, varchar, char, nchar, nvarchar. Now, so yeah, this is done. Employee ID, employee name. Now email. Email, obviously, we have digits, we have decimals and something, something. abc.12. This kind of data we will get at gmail.com. So here also, I will go with the varchar 2. Next, salary. Salary will be, it can be decimals or it can be numbers. So we don't know what kind of data we will get. So I will go with the float or decimal also fine. If I mention decimal, it will store like it will be stored like value dot some digits 00 like this. So I will go for, currently I'm going with the float. Now here it is different. So I'm going to get the dates, date of birth and date of joining. Date of birth is one thing, date of joining date. So something happened to my key. Date of joining date, date of join. So now I want to store date kind of data, means dates and times, those kind of data I'm going to store. So in this case, we have time separately, we have date also separately. So right now I'm using the date. So my date of birth is like this. So I have one data type called date. So I can, on date of birth, I will put date, means I will mention the date. Next, date of join also, obviously it is also date. Next, gender. Gender is male, female, etc. So always single digit character. So fixed length. So I will use char instead of varchar. Next, created date time. So if you see here, we have the 5/17/2022 9:10 a.m. So we have date and also we have the time. In this case, we need to use timestamp data type. So here we can mention timestamp of 3, timestamp of 4, timestamp of 5, timestamp of 6. If I give 6, it will store up to these 6 digits, 6 milliseconds like this. Okay. So how many fraction of seconds, milliseconds we want, then we can mention here. This is related to milliseconds, nanoseconds. So timestamp means we are going to store time, date, and also time. If I want both, then we'll use the timestamp data type. Next, resume. So resume, it is a very huge data related data type. So in this case, we need to go with the CLOB. CLOB is one data type. It will supports up to 2 GB data. So that is the use of CLOB. CLOB and NCLOB. Club, somebody will call as a club. We can also call as a CLOB. CLOB, NCLOB. Next. So suppose I have address more than, suppose when I need to choose this syllab, how can I know I need to choose varchar or I need to choose syllab? Suppose your data is more than 4,000 characters, go with the syllab. If below 4,000 characters, go with the varchar 2. This is the way to think about the data types. First, always go with the varchar only. because if you use CLab, it is always difficult to select and see the data. It is always difficult to the writing working with any indexes. Indexes will be won't work on CLab. I will explain what is indexes later, but it is always difficult to use this big size of data type. So always go with the varchar. If still varchar 2 is not enough to store your data, then only use CLab. So suppose resume or any uh, more than 4,000 characters data, then only use CLab. Next, photos. I want to store photos. Basically,